There's a lot of people out there who are looking at these fires and who see an alternate explanation. A lot of them point to arson, right? There's some folks out there who just don't want to accept that climate change is part of the explanations. You go higher up this sort of food chain and you see some conspiracy theorists who believe that there is a deeper plot, that there's folks out there who are using these fires to advance their climate agenda. There's folks who believe that the government set these fires.
And is this a small group of people, a large group of people?
We're talking about hundreds of thousands, probably more like millions of people who are at the very least listening to and engaging with these influencers and conspiracy theorists. A lot of this disinformation is taking place on Twitter, but also alternative social media platforms like Rumble and Telegram. It is a significant enough group of people that we should probably be concerned at the proliferation of some of this misinformation. On the Rebel, you had this rather alarmist story that said Nova Scotia RCMP blame arson for multiple wildfires. And the Rebel basically pushing the idea that there was somebody individual responsible for all these fires. They later had to correct this story as the RCMP clarified that those fires had nothing to do with the wildfires, that arson was not responsible for the forest fires in Nova Scotia.
In the absence of people telling us, of authorities telling us what actually has been happening here, I can understand that other theories flow in.
Yeah, so you're seeing some folks, particularly on TikTok, where a lot of this stuff is going incredibly viral, pointing out that a lot of the fires started almost around the same time, and they're seeing a conspiracy in that coincidence.
All of southeast Quebec just caught on fire, guys. All of it.
So that's a satellite image.
Yeah, that's right. So what he's pointing out here is that all of these fires have started more or less around the same time in different parts of the province, and basically concluded there has to be a conspiracy there behind it.
So the thing about all of this, I'm not a scientist, you're not a scientist.
Definitely not.
Fortunately, we have Johanna Wagstaff standing by, earth scientist, meteorologist, seismologist. She is on top of all of this. So why don't we just give her a call? Hey, Joe.
Hi, Adrienne.
Thank you for jumping on board with us. We've been talking about the suggestion that a lot of them have been started by arson, or all of them, some are suggesting. And there's this video that appears to show a whole bunch of fires starting at once in Quebec. People are taking that as evidence that, see, all these fires were set. I know you've been looking closely at that. What is the actual story there?
This satellite imagery is actually really common after lightning ignited fires. A cold front comes through about 24 hours before that looped imagery and sparks new hotspots. But because the lightning comes with rain, they're kind of smoldering, and the fuels have been so dry in this part of the country that they're able to hunker down until about sort of 18 hours later, when you get that strong daytime heating, the sunshine, those fuels dry out, and they all sort of hit that critical threshold at the same time, and they take off. And the afternoon winds kick in, carrying the flames and the smoke in the same direction. But yeah, we see this all the time after lightning ignited storms.
A lot of people have really honed in on these images of helicopters and aircraft, in some cases drones, basically raining sparks down, and have pointed to this as proof that it's not just arson, it's the government, planned arson. What are we watching when we see these videos?
So these are our old videos from previous, what we call controlled or prescribed burns. And this is a really important part of a preemptive fire season. This is what fire crews do before the fire season gets started, to burn off the really dry fuels and create these natural breaks. So when the fires come through, they run into these pre-burned areas and can't move any farther.
Okay, Johanna, listen, thanks very much for helping us through this. We appreciate it.
Anytime.
What is the play here? What is the point of making these arguments?
Right, I think really fundamentally it's to give somebody who doesn't want to accept the official narrative something to hold on to, right? And some of these ideas are quite prolific online. I mean, you even hear some of it show up on Fox News. This is Janine Pirro talking about how they might use this to bring back mask mandates.
And while Americans choke on the smoke, the far left smells an opportunity. AOC thinks this is a great time to push her Green New Deal. Other Democrats are pumping up climate hysteria and bringing back, you guessed it, mask insanity.
This is the idea that you can kind of bring a lot of the paranoia that was prevalent during the pandemic and use it around climate change. And it's a surprisingly popular idea online.
Are you taking any larger lessons out of this or interpretations out of this whole experience here?
Yeah, I mean, clearly we need governments and in some cases the media who are more effectively communicating both the science and the conditions and the reality and engaging with some of these conspiracy theories more directly, right? I think the only way to convince people, to win them over, is to give them the information, to treat them like adults, to talk to them like smart people, because a lot of the people who are out there spreading these conspiracy theories have done a lot of research. It might be bad research. They may have come to some bad conclusions, but they're curious and they want answers and they want to investigate and they want to dig, and we should help them do that.
All right, Justin Ling, thank you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.